Let's welcome our Senator Malama Soloman.
I just want to report, I myself was in shock about John Colson's resignation. As a matter of fact, I was approached on the Senate floor by a reporter that told me, "Senator, did you know that your principal had just resigned?" And of course I was shocked. I came back to my office and I went down the whole list. I called every board member. The only person that responded to me immediately, I think it was Mitch. What is his last name? Yeah. And I know Mitch simply because, he's a rancher, cattleman, and I know him. And he knows who I am. At that moment, I had asked Mitch, I told Mitch, I said, this is my manao, and I asked him to please express it to the board members that for whatever transpired, between the two parties, that's their kuleana. But Mr. Colson should be encouraged to stay, finish up the year, get everybody all through the school year. We have ongoing programs because we're dealing with children. These are not adults. And Mitch was very kind about it, and he said, yes, I will communicate this message to the board. I want to thank Dr. Dai. I spoke to him in great length about it, and I told him, and I want to share with you, there is not one democratic process where you cannot move for reconsideration. And that's the power of a democracy. And no matter what, these are taxpayer dollars. These are the people that are paying your salaries or your teachers. And I ask them to make, to really think about it. Move for consideration. This was early on in the process, and unfortunately the situation escalated, so now we have attorneys involved. We have attorneys involved representing them. We have attorneys involved representing John Colson. And I think that this is why we're here today, and I think you had expressed the manao very eloquently, that, in our sense of who we are in Hawaii, this is why we passed the Aloha Spirit Law as to how we conduct our business. And this is where this community is coming from. So I think we've all heard their manao and their very strong position, and this is their right. Because this is why we created the charter schools. Because the whole purpose of a charter school is the power and decision making is to percolate from the bottom up. Because this is the strength that keeps our communities defined as to who they are. So they have the input to determine the destiny of their children. So I would really support all of the remarks that were made here today and ask for the board to move for reconsideration, see if our principal is willing to come back to complete the year, and then when June is, we go from there. I think it's a very reasonable request. On the Senate floor and in the legislature every day, every single day. And the reason why we do it is because we have public testimony where your manao matters. And a lot of times, all this testimony cannot always be there at the moment. So I have done it many times where I have gone to Senate chairmen of different committees and said, you know what, I'm really sorry, I just got this testimony from Kohala. So can I move for reconsideration? And let me tell you, every senator in the Senate says, yes, you may. coming, and so you yourself have heard these testimonies. So I would advise very strongly to go back to Honolulu and meet with the board and move for reconsideration and see if Mr. Coulson is willing to accommodate the request of the community. Because it's the community that's making the request that we would like him to finish up his tenure as the principal and in June, Holomua, or whatever he may do. Okay? Is that one with everybody? So let's do that. How about a very nice hand for Melissa? You know, you got a wonderful job. You know her family, everyone. You know that people stand for not only the community.
Oh, I gotta stand up. Oh, God, I gotta stand.